Most runners don't quit because they're unfit. They quit because they're alone, and nobody talks about it. So let's talk about it.
Let me explain something that I wish that I knew before I started running. Because when I started, I genuinely didn't think that I was built for it. I thought I'm too slow, I get out of breath too fast, and everybody else finds it easy. But that wasn't the real problem. The real problem was that I was running alone, and I didn't realize how much that was affecting me. When I first started, I'd wait till it was quiet. I'd wait till it was early in the morning or late at night and choose times where people just weren't going to be around. And not because I loved the peace, it's because I didn't want other people to see me struggle. I didn't want somebody fitter than me to run past. I didn't want to see somebody from school or from work or from gym see me out there, heavy breathing, red face, all within the first 2 minutes. And every time somebody did run past me, it confirmed what I already feared. That I was way too slow and I should leave it to the real runners. And unfortunately, those inner thoughts get louder when you're out there running alone. So if you've ever slowed down because somebody was watching, stay with me. Running alone at the start doesn't just test your lungs, it tests your identity. Because when you're running alone, there's nobody to normalize just how hard it is. And physically, complaining doesn't change much, but sometimes mentally, that's exactly what you need. Like that bonding moment when it's you and a friend, you're running, headwind coming at you, can't catch your breath, maybe even a slight uphill, and you look at each other and think, what are we doing? This sucks. And don't get me wrong, physically it might not change the run, but mentally that changes everything. That shared struggle bonds you as friends in that moment, but it also motivates you to keep going. And that's where you get all those comments at the end of your run, where your friend casually tells you, I would have stopped ages ago if it wasn't for you running with me. Or I didn't even want to come, but I didn't want to let you down, so I powered through, and now I'm so happy that I did. And it's all those days, the days where you run where you didn't want to, that all seem to stack together to get you where you actually want to be. Because that kind of suffering on your own is enough to make a lot of people quit, or at least question if it's worth it. And trust me, I've been there, where you're out there and you rush your runs, go as quick as you can just to get it over and done with. You go out there way too fast, like every other beginner runner in the world, and you suffer alone. And it's that suffering in silence that makes you feel like you don't belong. For me, I vividly remember this one run, and it wasn't even my first run. I made it to like a K&a-half, maybe a mile if you want to be generous. And then I stopped, heavy breathing, crouched over, and truth be told, I was absolutely cooked. And the only thing I could think of was, how do people run a 5K? And then I walked home, very slowly, super embarrassed. And luckily, nobody actually saw me, but I still feel embarrassed. And that's exactly what isolation does. But then, something changed. I ran with other people. And don't get me wrong, the first time I ran with other people, I was terrified. I was out there thinking, I'm gonna be the slowest one here. I'm definitely gonna be at the back of the pack, and I'm probably gonna look stupid. Worrying if they could hear my stomping feet, my heavy breathing, overthinking every aspect of it. And here's the truth, I was actually the slowest, but nobody cared. In fact, the people that I was running with actually stayed with me. They encouraged me and hyped me up and got me to the finish line. And then I had a super honest and deep conversation with them, and they shared that they would rather have me out there joining them, maybe running a little bit slower, than going out faster and doing it without me. And maybe it's just me, but when you're exhausted, just finished your first little group run, red-faced, heavy breathing, all at the start of your running journey, it's a comment like that that's going to stick with you. And what was just a passing statement turned out to change everything. So here's why group running is different. The pace regulates itself, the effort feels shared, discomfort actually feels normal, and you slowly stop internalizing all that struggle. Because when you're out there running and you hear somebody next to you heavy breathing, you don't judge them for it, you just think, yeah, this is hard. And it's that slight reframing that changes everything. And this isn't some shameless promotion trying to get you to come to my run club. There are park runs, there are community runs, there are beginner programs, there are social jog clubs, there are walking to runners groups. While we're at it, there's just walkers groups. I don't care where you go. I just care that you stop doing this alone, because I guarantee it will make it easier. Talk to anybody that's been running in a group for a while, because the benefits are endless. Socially, you feel seen, you feel included, you feel part of a group. Mentally, you build resilience faster, and you normalize the struggle. And trust me, there's going to be a struggle. Even physically, you're more consistent, you regulate your pace better, and you don't quit after one bad session. And trust me, consistency beats intensity. But there is something critical here, and you can't get this wrong. You have to run with the right group of people. If you run with a group that's running way too fast and all you're doing is trying to keep up, you will reinforce the exact same problem. You will run too fast, you will feel terrible, and you will feel like you don't belong. And that's exactly what we're trying to avoid here, because you don't progress when your ego sets the pace. And while we're at it, here's how you do it right. When you join a group, ask them what pace they run at. And please be honest about your pace. This is no time to lie. If you need to, find the back of the pack, or depending on the size, find the beginner group, or chat with the leader and see if they'll run with you. They know how things go better than anybody. And if you're coming out for the first time, I'm sure they're there to help. And when the run does start, stay at your pace, one that you feel comfortable at, even if people go ahead, and even if your ego is begging you to speed up. Simply stick to the plan, because that's why you're there, and this will help you. And if you've ever sped up just to avoid being last, this part is for you. Because I've made that mistake more times than I can count. I've turned easy runs into race day efforts, all because somebody faster than me turned up. And every single time, I paid for it. You wake up the next day and you're sore, you're demotivated, and you're second guessing every decision you've just made. And here's the thing, the people that have been running longer don't expect you to keep up. They're hoping that you stay consistent and they're expecting you to build. But beginners simply don't know that. And the biggest lie that new runners believe is if I was built for this, it wouldn't feel this awkward. Unfortunately, being awkward is all a part of it. Every confident runner you see out there has been through this awkward beginner stage. So please remember, you're not out of shape. You're under-supported. You're not a bad runner. You've just been doing it alone. And sometimes you need to surround yourself with either people that will hype you up or people that are willing to complain with you, all to help get you through. I'm not sure why, but both of them seem to work. So if you're struggling right now and every run feels like proof that you don't belong, and especially if you're thinking about quitting, please don't. You simply need to change your environment. Find people that will match your pace, that will build slowly. Let your consistency snowball and work its magic. And if this is the first video you're seeing of mine, there are 13 others waiting for you just here. Hit that subscribe and start watching. I make these videos for runners who feel behind. And if you feel comfortable, tell me about your running journey in the comments below. I read and respond to every single one, and I'd love to hear all about it. Because I promise you, you are not alone.